This latest CD is called Floral Designs, and as the title says, that's the clue for it. It's all about flowers, but there's a little bit of a twist in this. They're based on tiles from sort of 18th and 19th century floral tiles. So I think it's got a sort of a wonderful sort of historical feel to it as well. That said, some of them are what we call very contemporary, very modern. So what I'd like to do is just quickly run through and show you what you can find on the CD. Now, as ever, we'll have the first page, which will, if I just go back one, which will come up with the terms and conditions here, and then press continue. Now, we come to the main menu here, and we can see there's 6 boxes. And what I'm going to do is just run you through basically in order. So let's start off actually with the black and white floral designs. If I click on, you can see, first of all, there's so much on this CD. So we've got set 1 and set 2. I'm going to click on to set 1, and we can see up comes the black and white ones here. So if I just say click onto this one, you come up now with a nice black and white image. Now these are designed to work as either a square card or as your standard A5 and A6 if you don't want to have them square. But this large one will work perfectly onto an A5 cut square. Or you could mount this onto an A5 sheet, this second one here, or the smaller one will make a beautiful A6 card for you in the traditional proportions. But you could of course make smaller square ones if you want to. But what's so exciting about this is I've drawn these images for you so that you can actually paint them in yourself if you want to. So you can use, I've used watercolour, and we'll look at that in the colour version, but you can use anything that you've got, anything that you particularly like or want to use. Feel free to use it. I know lots of you have enjoyed colouring in these ones, which is why by popular request they're on here, but you can, if you want to, just keep them as black and white illustrations to make your card. They in themselves make beautiful cards. So we can see we've got a fantastic range here, and if I go back, what we'll do is click back, and then we have the same again, another 20, so there's 40 in total, in 20 in set 1 and 20 in set 2, and a whole different lovely range of flowers. These, I rather like these, sort of a dog rose here with a beautiful border. I just think it's classic, but it's contemporary. It just hits the mark in so many ways. Okay, so those are the black and white ones, and if we return through the CD, we come to the colour images. Again, everything's laid out the same, so once you know where one of your favourites are, though I think you're going to have many on this CD, you'll know exactly where to go in the other sections. So I'm going to click again onto set 1, and just click onto the first one here. We have the same images, but this time I've painted them in with watercolour. Now this is what I call my famous serving suggestion. These colours could be altered if you wanted to have lilac, orange, red, blue or whatever for the flowers. You know, do whatever you like, but this is just sort of my serving suggestion for you. And again, they come in the 3 main sizes so that you can create a whole range of different card sizes on traditional paper. And as with the black and white ones, we've got a set 1 and a set 2 as well. Same thing again, if I just click onto this one, same as the black and whites, but now in colour. Of course, if you're painting, as I've said, you can use this as a colour guide if you want to. Okay, so we'll return back to the main menu, and we'll go on to now to the backing papers and stackapage. Here it's a very busy page. And if I just click onto here, and again, not just onto the first one to show you, we can see now that this is at 1 size. This makes the A5 square card, and the various sections are here for you to make four stacks or 3 stacks onto the base artwork to give you a lovely stacked card. Incidentally, I must say, and we'll show you some examples, they will be on the gallery. And these cards, and I'll do a little movie just to show you as well, actually although they're based on tiles, you can make them up as tile cards. So by folding and creasing around the edges here and putting a little twist in, they raise up off of the surface and look just like tiles. Again, that's something which I'm going to show you as a little movie that you'll find from the download section on the CD when you click onto that button, and I'll come back and show you that in a mo. Okay, so we've got set 1 and again set 2. Let's just click onto it here, and we can see now how that works its way round for you. So that's another exciting part on the CD. And of course you could use one of these as a template if you wanted to make your own ones, even out of the black and white then. And again, you'll find a little template on the download page which you can use as a piece of artwork to make it bigger or smaller just to fit your particular image. Okay, moving on, we've got two real sort of main sets of backing papers here. Now these are what I call the speciality backing papers, and they're just very generic and they're there to be used with any of the images. They don't particularly tie into any one particular card. You may want to, if you say click onto this one, have a very muted brown background here and just place your card over that if you wanted to. Whichever colour it is, or you may rather like, I've got a lovely one here in red that you could use if perhaps you want a stronger backing paper. As you can see, there's just a lovely range here of just what I call generic backing papers. I've got some in black and white as well. I think that's quite nice. Even if you're doing your own colour version, you could then mount it onto a black and white paper here. And I think this looks rather classy in its own right as well. So there we go, you've got 20 of those we're called speciality papers, and they come both in full colour and again the exact replication but in a much lighter colour, so you can matte and layer those as well, which I find is a very useful and fascinating technique to use. Now moving on, we've got our second range down here, and again if I just click onto the black and white ones, each one will come with its own range of backing paper that will fit onto an A4 for you, edge to edge if you've got it. If not, run it through your printer, trim it down to size, no problem. So we can see now that each one, as I said, corresponds to the image, and those come in set 1 and set 2, and again they'll come in full colour or as a tint here for those of you that want to matte and layer. Personally, it's one of my favourite techniques. With the risk of repeating myself, if we move on to the colour ones here, we'll see a very similar pattern. As you can see, a backing paper in full colour, and if I go to the tints and just pick up on that one, we've got it in a tint for you as well. So each of the papers has its own specific backing paper, as well as there being general ones, and on this page we find what I call the stackapage if you want to do that technique as well. Of course, there's nothing to stop you printing out and doing a little bit of decoupage in these. If you want to go back to the main images, print the page out twice, you could actually decoupage it. Now we also have our envelopes and boxes and our backers and greetings. I'm going to have a look at those in a minute, but I'm just going to very quickly show you. On here there's a video tutorial, and this video tutorial is based on watercolor pencils, which you may want to use. I find you can actually use them just as watercolor paints, and everything's on here. It's a lovely. It's just about 1 hour 40 minutes of tutorial for you to work your way through. Click onto the video. It will take a few seconds because if you're running off the CD, so click on, and I said it will take a little bit of time for the video to come up and work because it takes a little bit of time, but once it's there, it's there. So please be patient with it, and you can scroll through, stop and pause, and if you just remove this, then that menu bar disappears as well. So that's a lovely little section. If you're not interested in painting or using watercolor pencils, you don't have to look at it. It's free. It's on there for you to have a look at if you want to. Okay, envelopes and boxes is the same standard fare. These are the templates. So if you want to make something, if you just simply, let's say a square card box, print this out, turn it round, use a backing paper of your choice and print it on the reverse, then cut out and fold. It's as simple as that. It's a two-way pass through your printer. Same with the envelopes. On this I've included a small square A6, and we've got the square A5 as well to take our other cards, and of course our regular A6 and our standard A5 if you're working with the other cards. So really all the bases are covered here. And if we come back, we've got some backers and greetings. These are text editable. If I just click on, now you can use this on the back of the card, just type your greeting message there, cut it out and pop it on. And we've also got the text editable greeting itself, just a range of colours that match actually the cards themselves with the borders. This says happy birthday. You'll simply click on and highlight the text to change it. Incidentally, if you use Control-E, you can change the colour and the size as well. This will take a little bit of time to activate, as you can see, but not to worry about that. It'll be a little bit faster. As you can see, it's come up now, so don't worry. Okay, that's basically it, what we've got on the CD. I think you're going to love it. I've absolutely enjoyed making this one myself. Hope you enjoy it too. Thank you for watching.